Norm? I've not seen you in forever. You look great.
That guy likes me a lot.
Yeah, they all love you. They love you. My audience loves you. What's happening? What's new? Your hair is short. You look great.
Yeah, I got short. I got a haircut.
When?
Oh, this is a very uninteresting subject.
Yeah, but it looks good. It caught me off guard.
Yesterday.
Oh, wow, yeah. Well, it's short. It makes sense.
Yeah.
How's the family? How's everything going?
Ah, great, man. Couldn't be better. Life is fantastic.
Yeah. That's
I
good.
like life, man.
You do, really?
Oh, my God. People that complain about it. First of all, you're lucky enough to be alive when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Your mother had to have sex with your father. That your grandparents had to have sex. Great-grandparents had to have sex. It's lucky you're alive, my God.
It's amazing.
And I'm so happy every day that I'm alive
be.
because it's just a fluke. There's so many more people that never got to be alive. You know? And,
that's an interesting point. I guess you're right. If you do the math.
So when people carp about it, I'm like, man, it's the greatest gig in the world, being alive. You get to eat at Denny's, wear a hat, whatever you want.
Yeah. Get haircuts. It is. Well, good. I'm glad life is going well. I know you're a big fan. You competed in the World Series of Poker in the celebrity event?
No, in the real.
In the real deal,
real
right?
deal, yeah.
How was that?
Well, it was sort of a nightmare. I was halfway through the first day. I was the massive chip leader.
Right.
And
which means you were doing great.
Yeah, I was first place, 8,800 people, and then I threw it all away.
You say that like it still tortures you to this day.
Yeah,
What happened? Was it all in one hand? Did you just go all in with something that you shouldn't have? Was it your bluffing? Were you...
No, I was just, I had pocket aces, and the guy had jack queen, he beat me. But so be it. I was going for there's two ways of playing it, right? You can go to trickle into the money, or you can go for first place, so I was going for first place.
Yeah. You like to play poker, though, right?
I like it okay, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I play a lot. I got a little addicted to it on the internet. I was playing like 6 games at once for 7-8 hours a day. You know?
Yeah. All right, so you like it a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw the poker area at one of the casinos in Vegas, and it's very bright, it's very sterile. You can't, like, swear, you can't smoke. And I'm thinking, well, there's no way Norm could really be into this poker thing, because those are two of your favorite things to do.
I got a lot of penalties at the World Series for smoking.
Oh, you can
and
you smoke?
For swearing, because, like, you know, your aces get cracked and you go, and, you know, and then it's like, it's a 20-minute penalty for each word, so I'm like out for an hour and a half, you know.
But they let you back in.
Yeah, they let you in after an hour and a half.
What if you're swearing while smoking 10 cigarettes at once?
It's so insane that you can't swear and smoke because everybody there is a degenerate gambler that smokes and swears.
Right, yeah, it's a weird rule that they have there.
It's very strange. I played the celebrity poker. That was the hardest of all.
Why?
Well, you go on the TV, and poker's not that hard, but identifying these other celebrities is almost impossible. Because...
Yeah. That should really be its own sort of gamble.
Yeah, that's right. Because
I want to bet on the fact that I'm not quite sure that that guy is in Creed. I don't know.
Exactly.
I'll bet $1,000. I think that's just a better juice factor in that.
They get peripheral celebrities like me. They're not like Matlock's going to be on the. So, you know, you get like I had to get briefed there because everybody's 20. They're like, that's the guy. Of course, don't you know him? He's on a police station. He plays Detective Johnson. So I had to remember all this. I really enjoy your work on Police Station. That time you got that crook.
He's like, Norm, it's me. It's John Stamos. What's with you? You don't recognize me?
No, John Stamos is a great man.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
You know John Stamos.
Sure, I know him. I know him all right.
Man, that guy gets the ladies.
He does, yeah.
Some guys get the ladies. I'm telling you, man. And it's you ever know these guys, maybe in high school or something, or college, you couldn't figure out why they did it, but they could get the ladies. You know, maybe they weren't the handsomest guy, but somehow, like I had a guy, a friend of mine, Bill, this guy, he could get I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Every night he would have a different lady, and they'd be beautiful, and finally I asked the guy, I said, what's your secret, you know? He said, I'm a serial rapist.
Right.
That hardly counts, you know?
Yeah. Norm, let me ask you.
I tried the roofies once, actually.
Did you? You tried that? You tried that as a technique of dating?
Yeah, because I said, these girls, you go and you feed them a nice hamburger, and then
That's not enough?
Nothing happened, so I said, I'll try these roofies.
All right.
They didn't work at all, man. I couldn't even remember anything. I woke up 3 days later, my ass hurt. I don't know what happened.
This is the second night in a row. We can't air any of this. This will be the greatest website interview ever. None of this will make air.
They're just jokes.
Let me ask you about, you grew up in Canada. Everybody in Canada speaks French, but your father, he forbid you from learning French.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Everybody in Quebec, where I grew up, Quebec City, about 99% French, a few English people. And yeah, my dad, you know, the English hate the French, his guts. And so my dad wouldn't let me learn French.
Why?
Because he hated the French. And so in school you could take either French or Latin, and I took Latin, and in Quebec City it turns out there's no ancient Romans.
That's right.
So I got beat up a lot by French guys, which is about the most humiliating thing that could ever happen to you.
Right. Aside from losing at celebrity poker to the guy from the cop show. Let me ask you about, there's a couple of shows coming on NBC this year that both deal with SNL, where you spent some time. One of them is a drama, one of them is a comedy. Do you plan on watching Studio 60 or 30 Rock? Are you excited about these shows?
It seems odd that there's two shows that are backstage of the same show, Saturday Night Live, right? And I don't even know if anybody watches Saturday Night Live, let alone backstage of Saturday. I know they weren't watching when I was on it.
I thought you were great on Saturday Night Live.
What's
What do you
that?
mean? Do you watch it now?
Oh, I thought it was great on Saturday Night Live, too.
Do you ever go back? Do you ever go back to the SNL stage?
Yeah, I love it, you know, because ever since I was a kid, I watched Saturday Night Live, and I always loved it, you know, and I still love it. I always go, every time I'm in New York, I go and see the guys and stuff.
Yeah, it's fun to go back there, right?
Oh, yeah. You were there.
Yeah, I was there. Sure.
You'd always hang out.
I know what's going on. This is the comedy CD that Norm put out, and it's great, but it's different than what I thought when I first put it in. I thought it was going to be sort of a traditional comedy CD, but I actually enjoy this much better.
Oh, you mean like stand? They wanted me to do stand-up.
Yeah, like it's not stand-up.
Yeah, I didn't want to do stand-up because when I was a kid, like I listened to Cheech and Chong and Monty Python, and it'd be cool because I'd like, you know, my parents didn't know, and it was dirty and stuff like that, and stuff like that. So I always wanted to do an album like that, you know, that it's not for kids.
They're like sketches, but they're much, much dirtier.
Yeah, they're really filthy, and this album is not for kids, but it's for kids.
Yeah, but if you're a kid, go get it. It seems like when you listen to this, and it's cool because it takes you back to like how people probably listened to radio in the 50s or whatever. It's very sort of theatrical, and it's very funny and dirty.
It's the theater of the mind.
It is, it is.
Like when I'm an older fella, you know, I'm in my late 60s. Now, when I was young, things were different, Carson, you know, like pot was something that, you know, you'd cook your eggs in. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, it wasn't.
Hash was something that you'd eat with your eggs. You know, you put some hash on the side. You know what I'm saying? Acid, you know, was something that you'd, you know, throw in a guy's face if he made a pass at your wife. You know what I mean? It's all different. It's all different.
When did you grow up? In the 40s?
Yeah, I'm an old 68. Ecstasy. You know?
What was ecstasy?
Ecstasy was that feeling that surged through your body when you threw a bunch of acid in a guy's face. It's changed. And what I like about this album, like you said,
the hidden track.
Yeah, it's the hidden track, and then they didn't.
Why did you put it as track 13, yet it says hidden track?
They told me they'd hide it.
It says hidden track.
I know, and then they put it in. But
that's ridiculous.
But the theater of the mind, what I was going to say about it is, what is so great, when I was a kid, we had no TV. We had no TV. We had the radio.
Sure.
And you see, you had to use your mind.
Right.
You had to use your imagination. And my dad would collect the kids around, and we'd listen to the radio, and we had to use our mind, especially with the hardcore pornography.
What show was that?
What show is it?
Yeah, what show was
the name of the show?
Yeah, that the family was huddled around in the 30s when you were growing up.
I think it was...
The porn was being read.
I can't remember.
And you had to imagine it all.
The name of the show?
Yeah.
Amos and Andy.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what I was thinking of. Those are great. I like to go down to the radio.
Come on now, Amos. I don't believe you should be doing that.
All right. It's great to go down to the Museum of Radio and TV. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, sure.
And you can go and you can just basically call up any great old television show or radio show and relive those great moments.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we'll look for that Amos and Andy. All right, you gonna hang out? We have Amy Smartest here.
I love Amy.
Did you meet her?
I met her, and I'm a big fan of her. She's smart, and that wasn't a joke.
It's not even on here. The Amy Smart.
Feelings flowing up and down, picking up the pieces that you left behind, hitting a new type of flow, breathing in the smoke and clearing up my mind. The thoughts of you, I never knew what the hell you got me into. What the fuck do you mean?
We had our first night at Seaside Heights last night.
Yeah, that was great. Drinking that beer.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Norm and I got to go out last night.
Yeah.
There's a place called the, what's the name of that? Yakety Yak Cafe?
Yakety
You guys
Yak.
know that place here?
That was
It's
fun.
like a nightclub for senior citizens. Really, seriously. They'd play like Islands in the Stream. Remember that when that came on?
That was crazy. You had a lot of the ladies last night.
Oh, let me tell you, man.
I told you that one was a dude. I told you, man. I warned you.
I know. I was a little upset we're having the barbecue today after that experience, too. But how about when the girl you were talking to, when her teeth came out? It was crazy, seriously.
Yeah. I wasn't talking to her during that point.
I remember when you tried to put them in, back in her. Got ugly. Hey, also, our question of the day is, and Norm's here to talk about Dirty Work, which we're very excited about.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Tell us a little about just the plot of the movie. It's sort of a revenge.
It's a movie, yeah. It's a movie about, I play a guy that opens a revenge for hire business. So I get revenge on people that can't think of them themselves.
And you actually co-wrote this movie, and,
Yeah.
and this idea actually stemmed from you just having a fascination about this idea.
Yeah, I love the idea of revenge, yeah.
Certainly. Our question of the day is, what's the best way you've gotten revenge? So if you're here hanging out with us, think of some ways that you've gotten revenge. Do you have any ways that you can think of in your own real life that you've...
Well, this wasn't my idea, but my buddy did it when we were in college. We sent these dudes at this fraternity that we didn't like a big bunch of donuts, right? And then they ate the donuts, and then underneath the donuts we had a Polaroid of me and my buddy with the donuts on our...
That's good. How come we didn't write that into the movie?
We did. They wouldn't let us do it.
All right, you know, we're gonna show you a video right now. It's actually a breakthrough videos from Madonna. Part of this was shot in our New York studio in Times Square. You can check it out. Here is Jonas Ackerlund directed this video, who did Smack My Bitch Up from Prodigy. If you haven't seen it, it moves rather fast. Check out Madonna right now. Here's Ray of Light. Hey, how are you? Welcome back to the show. Carson Daly here. Norm Macdonald, our guest today, star of Dirty Work, a movie that everybody in America has to go see at least once. That's what we're asking.
Yeah.
We're not asking a lot. Just go and check out Norm's movie. It's very funny. We're going to talk about it just a little bit. We've actually started yesterday, since Norm's going to be on the show with us all week long, kind of hanging out. When you came out yesterday, you didn't look like you were in the real beach attire.
Right, I've gotten a little more.
You're working your way.
I had a sweatshirt yesterday, now I have a T-shirt.
But we're taking up a collection fund, too, of everybody here. So by the end of the week, maybe we'll get you in a skivvy.
Yeah.
So this is the Norm Macdonald Skinny White Ass Fund. There it is. Sorry, Ski. You got that? We have about 14 bucks in it now, so I'll pass it around. If you guys want to see Norm in a, like a thong by Friday, then drop some money.
Some of the ladies put some money in, too.
Put money in there, for Christ's sake. Stop taking the money. Hey, how are you? It's Tuesday. That means there's some new music in stores. Part of the grassroots movement in the Bronx. And it's happening. Norm Macdonald, everybody.
Yeah.
Hanging out with us. Have they ever raised the roof for you? Have you had that experience out yet? That's pretty cool.
I love that band better than Ezra, by the way.
Do you really?
But you know what band I don't like?
Which one don't you like, Norm?
Ezra. They're not as good.
Business news: Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is facing a $1 billion tax bill this year. Now that's
He pays $1 billion in taxes?
in tax. That's a lot of money.
Good problem to have, right, Tom?
That's not bad.
God damn.
Absolutely. $1 billion.
$1 billion, that's more than my dad made in his lifetime.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. This guy's carping about that. How old is this kid?
I don't know. I think he's in his mid-20s, maybe. I have to look that up.
And most of these, I feel these rich kids are unknown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's known because of that movie.
Yeah.
But I think most of them. I think that these super billionaire guys keep themselves unknown, so we don't find out and go to their house.
Oh yeah.
Don't
He's
you?
probably not the real. He's just sort of like the. There's much bigger billionaires.
You think
than
there's
these
bigger
guys?
guys?
Oh, I think they're living on an island somewhere.
Yeah.
They're just running everything.
Because when you hear about it, how much money the richest guys have, nobody. I mean, I know Sandler. He doesn't have nearly that much money. You know what I mean? And he's the richest guy, and he's super rich.
Yeah, if you had, you probably don't want to make a big show.
No.
Yeah, they probably have the cure for cancer. They're probably selling all the drugs that we're all taking, all the drugs. They're selling all that stuff. They got all the cures. They're living on an island.
The United Paramount Network's new show, Star Trek Voyager, finished in first place Monday night with a 14.7 rating. For those of you who don't know, one rating point is equal to 950,000 nerds. Well, this week, world chess champion Garry Kasparov defeated an IBM computer in their 6-game chess series. Experts are calling the encounter between chess wizard and supercomputer historic because, for the first time ever, it brought together both geeks and nerds. After numerous requests, the National Institute of Health has finally granted funds to the University of New Mexico in order to test mice for the deadly hantavirus. Although I'm sure the government would have acted a lot sooner if instead of mice, the hantavirus was killing off rich white guys. And in Brunswick, Maine, an outbreak of the deadly canine parvovirus has led to the local Humane Society killing many of its dogs. Gee, I wonder if the Humane Society would kill off victims of canine parvo if instead of dogs, they were rich old white guys. Wildlife officials in Maryland say that increased hunting will be necessary to control the state's black bear population. Gee, I wonder if hunting would be the answer if instead of overpopulation of black bears, there were an overpopulation of rich old white men. Yeah. Then I wonder. Those are the motherfuckers that fucking introduced crack into my neighborhood last month.
Do you have a crack problem?
Well, now I do, because
Really?
those fuckers introduced crack into the neighborhood.
Really?
And what they don't tell you about crack is, god damn, it's good.
Yeah. Where in your neighborhood there's a crack?
Yeah,
in?
it's huge crack.
So you can just step out the front door now and there's a crack readily available now?
Well, I sell it.
Yeah.
But I'm using so much of it now.
Yeah.
But I'm still getting fat.
Yeah. Well,
I don't quite understand.
How is that even possible?
I don't know.
I was going to ask
I have
you
to
that.
talk to a gastroenterologist.
you don't have any now, do you? Any crack now?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
you smoked
after
it
you
all.
do it for a while, you do not share.
Yeah.
I learned that one the hard way.
You go, I'm out. But meanwhile, you're not out, and you do everyone else's crack with them.
Yeah.
And then you sneak off into the bathroom and do your own crack.
Right. Yeah, just good idea.
That's morphine's good too. There's one called crocodile. Have you ever heard of crocodile?
No, I haven't. In international news.
I'm not a skilled interviewer. Let's fucking face it.
I'm not a skewed. What?
You've done podcasts before, though.
I have. I've never done. I haven't done a lot of video ones.
Have you done what the fuck?
I did Treat Williams's. I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to think of somebody random that video
Treat
podcast.
Williams.
You win that.
He
No
would be
one more
good.
random than that.
He would be great.
Treat would be a treat.
Now we're going. This is the section where we do jokes.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think of them. They're written
For
on
the
blue
first
cards.
time in the show.
Yeah, the first time in the show. We do jokes. We stop our Mark Maron-like grilling of your personal life. Do your Mark Maron.
I don't have a Mark Maron.
Mark Maron gets it a lot, like anything you say. I get it,
Yeah.
Were you jealous of him? People constantly tell me, or I hear this, funniest man that ever lived. Is that
Mel Brooks.
Do you believe that?
Sure. I mean, I think he's of an era. You know what I mean? I think he's still. I think the amazing thing about him, if you are, well, you're not wired that way. If you're a Jew and your wiring is Jewish, Mel Brooks is going to tap right into that.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah.
Gotcha. I understand. I find that when I used to do stock lines. And then I was always sad because it would do better than the rest of my act.
People just love it because the
But that's why it's a stock line.
Yeah, because the timing's built in. Oh, there was a dude. I don't know if I want to mention his name.
Yeah, what is it? The doorman at the store. There's a lot of stories there. This guy told me 2 of them were sucking each other off in the fucking parking lot.
Is that true?
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Really?
Yeah,
the door that was different when I was there.
I wasn't surprised at all.
Because they were those kind of guys?
Yeah, they drink a lot and they're wild.
I like those kind of guys. Are you talking about gay people?
Yeah.
I was.
What? I mean, who else is going to be sucking each other?
I know. Why do you call them those kind of guys? Why don't you just say, are they gay?
Are they gay? Why?
You sound like a guy from Mad Men or something.
No, I'm not.
Those kind of fellers?
No, that was not the tone I had.
You understand after a while, and even with politicians, like they're still human beings. And,
yeah, barely, but yeah, they're the worst kind of fucking people in the world.
That's true.
All of them.
I'm glad to hear you say that because everybody thinks you're all leftist and everything.
Well, I mean, I definitely land on the lefty side of things on ideological terms, but I found that from doing political talk radio. Just being carrying water for any of them, you just got to realize the quality of people you're dealing with. You're dealing with fucking corporate whores who are operated by business interests. So really, it's going to come down to however you view politics. The question is, do you give a shit about poor people, and are we being taken advantage of?
Right.
Now, if people want to frame that as, Obama's a communist and draining us of our livelihood, well, that's your particular delusion, and that's fine. I mean,
right.
But I just got disillusioned with all of it because these are not quality people. I mean, I did a joke about Michelle Bachmann on Real Time.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I was getting flack from this, a very small portion of the right, that they were like, he's a misogynist. I'm like, she's a fucking pig. She's a fucking politician. Can you name me 2 politicians that command any respect whatsoever? Why do we respect these people? These people are car salesmen. They're idiots. They're more disingenuous than anybody as performers, and they basically figured out a way to bait and placate morons into voting against their self-interest. That's an amazing skill, but is it respectable? I don't know. Do you respect a guy that sells you horse shit in the guise of a health supplement?
I agree with you. I mean, I think politicians are terrible. I mean, people attack evangelists, but at least evangelists offer something.
Right. Well, they after the immediate relief of someone's pain and aggravation with another line of bullshit. But nonetheless, I mean, they're pretty evil too.
Well,
I mean, with politics, it's like. Yeah, I don't like to get into it that much anymore.
Yeah, let's not get into this shit, man.
Okay, buddy.
Because it's getting. I can see people not laughing now.
No, I mean, but laughter. But I know that you've gotten into a little bit of flack around it. But you're
flack around what?
Around politics.
What do you mean?
Well, just that you've said things that people have reacted to, but you're not like a political comic.
I'm not political. I've only said things on purpose to provoke people.
Right.
Once in a while.
You like doing that though.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
But I've never. But I've never. Because I don't know enough. And because I don't respect political humor when it's nothing but gossip.
Yeah, and mostly comics and people like us, people who are obviously First Amendment warriors to a certain degree. We like living the way we want to live. So it's really just going to come down to money. It's like, how do I keep my money? I mean, that's the biggest political question that most righties ask themselves. It's like, I'd like to keep as much of my money as possible. And if that's in a minority opinion, how do we get this majority of poor people to get me to keep my money and believe that they're doing the right thing?
Yeah, it's a tough fucking thing because apparently I read this, if all the money in the world was equally divided among everybody would be dead fucking poor.
Yeah. There's these moments where I don't talk about as much as I used to, but then there's moments where you're like, there's a moment that I was on a fucking radio show the other day. And this was an interesting thing because it's about professionalism. Uh-huh. I don't do political talk radio. Yeah. I've got my political views and they're fairly general. I'm not trying to support, any politician, but, I have the way I think about things. Right, but there are politicians that represent the opposite of what I think. So I'm on this talk show with a guy, it's a Fox affiliate, but, I'm there to plug my comedy and talk about my podcast and be funny with this dude who's a talk show host. He's a radio professional. He runs an entertainment show for the most part, but he's been dying to talk to Rand Paul about the bridge situation because I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. He's the fucking senator. Right. They got bridges falling down, and he's been trying to get this guy on the show. And the guy he calls in when I'm there. So now I've got, if I was doing political talk radio, I mean, it would have been what the fuck are you thinking? You and your libertarian bullshit, and how are we going to pay for this? I would have jumped in and done that. But there was this moment where it's I'd just done a segment with this radio professional. He was like, God, it's great to talk to a guy who knows how to be on radio. We're having a good time. Hold on, the senator's on the phone. And I got to sit there and go, oh, do I do this? Would it be worth it to sabotage this for some lefty, credibility? And then I realized, dude, he's a radio guy, you're a comedian, you're having a good conversation, he's trying to talk to this guy about a local problem, just shut the fuck up and let him do his job, and then when you come back, get back to what you were talking about. And I chose to do that, but I did walk out saying you pussy, you had such an opportunity there.
I was on Politically Incorrect a couple of times, and fuck, man, you have to have an opinion about every goddamn thing on that show. So,
or you can just do a little homework and write some jokes.
But sometimes I remember at the break, Scott Carter go, enough with the jokes. But I'll never forget. I'm very unlearned, and so before the show, Scott came in, who was the
producer. Yeah, he's been on the show. Yeah.
So he said, "What do you think about China and Taiwan?" And seriously, I only know those as words, So I was like, I don't know anything. Can't I have another subject? So anyways, then we get out because he goes, because Bill believes this. I mean, anyways, when we get out, we're introducing the guy beside me, the smart guy, right? Mm-hmm. He wrote a book on China and Taiwan. Right. So fucking Bill Maher, he starts with me. He goes what was it, China and Taiwan? I go, I don't know. Fucking ask this guy. What do I know? I'm a nightclub comic. What? That's what made me laugh at that show. Everyone's opinion's equal. Right. Right. Like a nightclub comic and an expert. And then another thing I always found funny about that show is the comedians try to be very serious, and then the serious guys are trying to get jokes. Yeah. So it's
it's not always our shining moment.
I do like Bill, though.
No, Bill's great at what he does. Yeah. He started out a straight up joke dude, and he knows his shit. And it's pretty amazing.
You know what's funny about him? I don't know if I should say this or not, but he's probably aware of it. When he does his monologue, have you noticed when he does his monologue, he does Johnny Carson?
No, no, definitely. He definitely models himself. I think that's been his style for a long time. He definitely takes the posture.
But I find it very funny because he's got the posture and the timing and everything, and he's and then she came in his face, but it's crazy words come out.
Hey, Carson would have loved to have done that.
Yeah, he probably would have.
Great. What was your father's favorite joke?
My father's favorite joke? Yep. Well, he had a joke. Roses are gray, violets are gray, tulips are gray, because I am a dog.
Thank you. That was close.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Have a favorite quick joke of your dad's?
Sometimes he would go, try to think of the guy's name. He'd go, there's a fella named, what was his name? I go, it doesn't matter. So he goes, a fella, Bill, and he couldn't remember. So he went to the doctor to get memory pills, and they worked. And then his friend come over. Elmer, he says, what were those memory pills you got? I want to get them. What are they called? Oh, Elmer says, I can't remember. He says, what's the name of that flower? The other guy goes, I don't know, there's lots of flowers. A tulip? No, Elmer says, that's not it. It's, you put it in for, a carnation. No, Elmer says, that's not it. Long-stemmed, romantic flower. Oh, a rose. Yes, Elmer says. Rose. What was the name of that medication the doc gave me? You want to hear my dad's favorite joke?
Yeah.
He says he was from the farm, and he says a guy comes from the city. A city slicker comes and he buys a farm, and the farmer next door comes over to him and says, "Hey, now, would you like to come over to my house tonight? We're going to have a big shindig for you because we're neighborly here." And the city guy said, "Well, this is something I really like, that this is why I moved to the farm, to have things like this, Guy says it'll be a hell of a big party, He goes, it'll be, a little drinking, a little fighting, a little fucking, And the city guy goes, well, that sounds good. What time should I be here? And the farmer goes, anytime you like, just the two of us. So they would drink, then get in a fight,
and fuck. It's your dad's favorite joke.
That was my dad's favorite joke.
Connected to our senses. Found a way to let you in.
It's about your friend.
Hey, you're not going to believe this, but Bill Maher is giving away the solution to all our problems for free. He is, isn't he?
Norm Macdonald died yesterday. Did you know Norm well?
Well, not well. No one knew him well.
Yeah, no one knew him well. I worked with him. I spent a great deal of time with him, and I feel like I never knew him at all.
But huge fan. A guy who was not afraid to be too subtle for most people. That's ballsy. He did the jokes he wanted to do. I love that.
You believe in Lord? I do.
You do? Are you religious?
I believe in God.
I do too.
That's as far as I go.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't need your buddy Bill Maher telling me I'm an idiot.
I don't like when atheists say all that shit. It pisses me off too. I'm glad you said that.
They don't know shit either.
So I want you to shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
So who asked you?
I've never got the answer to the one question, which is why? Why Connecticut children? Why? Why a bomber in Boston? If there is a God, he's omnipotent.
Yes.
If he's omnipotent, he could prevent it.
Yes.
Why didn't he prevent it?
I don't know, man, but you got to stop hanging out in that hot tub with Bill Maher all the time and get some. It sounds like you got a God-shaped hole in your heart.
What the hell are you talking about?
Interesting thing. Some comedians, Larry, I feel, a comedian, what he should be doing is being funny. That should be his goal, to be funny. I feel some comedians, their goal is to be smart. And the funny is like a collateral thing. They want to be seen as smart. Your friend Bill Maher, for instance, he wants to be seen as an intellectual.
Dennis Miller.
Nobody likes a guy smarter than them. That's the worst guy you can be. A guy smarter than the audience. They're going to hate you,
Yeah, it's a very good observation.
All right, let's talk a little bit about China because, Paul, you are an expert. This is your book. As you can see, it looks like many of the menus that you get in restaurants.
I said it had to look like a Chinese menu.
It really does.
It must look like
exactly like a menu. But I know you know a lot about it, and I don't, but here's what I think.
Don't be silly. I heard you speaking Mandarin backstage.
Clinton just re-upped the most favored nation status, which some people have said we shouldn't do. They say we should break off relations with China because China, admittedly, has, as bad a human rights record as Don King. I don't know. It's just bad. But China is a very isolationist country. Historically, they built a wall. I don't know if you know that. And if
That's the Berlin Wall.
No. That's a different wall. That's in Egypt. And if we break off with them, I think they'll just say, well, the hell with you, and go on doing what they're doing anyway. I think the only way to bring them into the family of nations, and I know this is what the president says, but not just this president, many others, is to engage with them. Why is that wrong?
It's not wrong with we owe them. We already owe them so much money. We can't break off them. We have so many slave laborers and little kiddies earning 10 cents a day to make tennis shoes that we can't. That we owe them a ton of money. We can't break off. I mean, they're not.
Of course we can break off. Of course we can break off. First of all, the president himself in 1992 attacked President Bush for coddling the butchers of Beijing. Do you remember that?
Well,
now
that
here
was
we
during
are.
A campaign.
He doesn't just want to extend most favored nation status permanently. He wants to toast them, celebrate them, honor them. I mean, can't we just trade with them? Do we have to respect them in the morning?
But the whole world, it's tough. The whole. I agree. I don't know why they're the most favored nation, but we do owe them a ton of money. The fact is that they make stuff for the whole world. Every Christmas decoration in the whole world is made in China. Forget Nikes, you know.
Well, that lets you know that the issue is money. Clearly, the issue has to be money. I was telling Ariana, I saw a documentary that really detailed the whole events in Tiananmen Square. I mean, and this was some really deep stuff. And if anyone saw that, you know, they would say, well, this is wrong. How can we support any regime or any government that supports this? It was like 2 weeks of Kent State, day and night. But when it's not like, clearly the issue is money.
Kissinger approved of Tiananmen Square, so did Al Haig. Everyone's saying
it doesn't make it right.
No, it's not right. No, it's not right. I think it's despicable. I think it's an abomination. I think it's an abomination. I don't think we should give them most favored nation. I agree with you.
But why not? Because if we break off, other people will trade with them, and they won't change.
Everyone trades with them.
Isn't it hubris to think that we can change China any more than China could change us by making campaign contributions?
Do you know what's the percentage?
Well, we're bending. It's not just that we're not doing anything. We're bending over. The whole world is bending over for them and saying, "Do what to do." It's not.
On that note, Norm,
stop.
But it's a fact. It is a fact. It is a fact. Because the president has a single-faceted policy, which is just trade, nothing else.
But also, do you know what percentage of our exports goes to China? Just 2%. So this is a big myth that somehow exports. Yes, the only 2%. That's not much. And on top of it, please explain to me why we don't give most favored nation status to Cuba, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, but we give it to China. It doesn't make any sense.
Because they got money. Cuba,
it's bucks.
Just like what about Saudi Arabia? They have human rights violations there, but they have oil. We don't even hear a peep out of that.
Well, that's where it's uneven. The policy is clearly uneven. And, right. I mean, you'd think that someone should come out and say this is what it is.
But what I find amusing is that no one knows. If people approve and say, Tiananmen Square, that's all right. But they don't know how many people got killed. They say, it's all right, might have killed a few. But no one, even Kissinger, brain that he is, doesn't know how many people got killed, but saying, it's okay. Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, they said it's okay, he had to disperse the students. No one knows how many got killed.
Well, how many, Mr. Expert?
Well, I don't know. That's the whole point. If I knew.
I'll tell you why nobody knows, because people forget a very important thing. The Chinese are a lot smarter than us. So it's hard to criticize. But some things we excel at that they don't.
One thing they
I have never seen a Chinese guy in a porno. You know what I mean?
I got to take a break. We'll be right.
I was on Politically Incorrect a couple of times, and fuck, man, you have to have an opinion about every goddamn thing on that show. So,
or you can just do a little homework and write some jokes.
Yeah, but sometimes I remember at the break, like Scott Carter go, enough with the jokes. Yeah. But I'll never forget it. Like but I'm very unlearned, and so before the show, Scott came in, who was the
producer. Yeah, he's been on the show. Yeah.
So he said, "What do you think about China and Taiwan?" And seriously, I only know those as words, So I was like, I don't know anything. Like, can't I have another subject? So, anyways, then we get out because he goes because Bill believes this. Anyways, when we get out, we're introducing the guy beside me, the smart guy, right? Mm-hmm. He wrote a book on China and Taiwan.
Right.
So fucking Bill Maher, he starts with me. He goes like, what was it, China and Taiwan? I go, I don't know. Fucking ask this guy. What do I know? I'm a nightclub comic. What? Like, that's what made me laugh at that show. Everyone's opinion's equal.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like a nightclub comic and an expert. And then another thing I always found funny about that show is the comedians try to be very serious, and then the serious guys are trying to get jokes.
Yeah.
So it's like...
it's not always our shining moment.
I do like Bill, though.
No, Bill's great at what he does.
Yeah.
Like he started out a straight up joke dude, and he knows his shit. And it's pretty amazing.
You know what's funny about him? I don't know if I should say this or not, but I mean he's probably aware of it. When he does his monologue, you notice when he does his monologue, he does Johnny Carson.
No, definitely. He definitely
must
models
be aware
himself.
of it.
I think that's been his style for a long time. He definitely takes the posture.
But I find it very funny because he's got the posture and the timing and everything, and he's like, and then she came in his face, but it's crazy words come out.
And Carson would have loved to have done that.
Yeah, he probably would have. I would have got a thrill from listening to Johnny Carson because I haven't heard the guy in so long. And I love Johnny Carson. You love Johnny Carson. Sure. And so on that tape, they kept saying Johnny Carson on the 911 tape, and I thought it'd be him going like, I feel there's a yak on my chest, or something like that.
A spider monkey just peed on me. Can we get the paramedics here?
But
Call me to say goodnight, kiss me once or twice. I'll never let go of you. Fold me into your arms, stay with me till
let's talk about the military a little, because an important ruling came down last week from federal judge Shira Scheinman, who said that they could now buy at the PX on the base dirty magazine, if you will. Big military support here. It's a big military state.
There's some deprived military personnel we can see.
She also included videos in the ruling saying they were also protected by free speech, although the plots were kind of thin. Anyway, it was called the act that she overturned was called the Military Honor and Decency Act, which for years had banned the selling of this kind of material because they said in that act that they thought it would encourage sexual harassment. When now some people are saying maybe the opposite is true. A quick session with the pet of the month, and maybe that soldier is...
Yeah. You get sleepy. Don't you get sleepy?
What do you mean?
You don't want to rape somebody when you're sleepy.
Why are you sleepy?
Well, after you watch the porno. Listen, I like...
Norm, you have a strange metabolism.
Maybe it's those B12 shots you got.
Right. No,
in high school.
I like porno as much as the next guy, And I probably like it. I probably like it 100 times as much as the next guy. But although I have been watching. This is amazing because porno is my favorite kind of movie to watch, and yet. I've seen some pornos lately that my buddies have shown me. Have you seen these ones with all male casts? Gay pornos, they're called. These things are horrible. And there's thousands of them. They make thousands of them. They have not made one good one. And I'll tell you what the problem with it is. Quite seriously.
Yes, sir.
Quite seriously, the problem with these gay pornos and every one guys having sex with each other. Who the hell wants to see that?
Maybe you're shopping in the wrong section of the store.
This is not for me.
I wonder if they can't have those in the military base then.
But these,
don't ask, don't tell, don't watch.
Right. That's an interesting question. I don't know if this ruling includes gay material on the base. Do you know?
Well, it's really ironic at a time when they're trying to sensitize the soldiers. They're sending them to training on how to treat women with respect, and now they're stocking the PXs with porno magazines. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's a mixed message, wouldn't you say?
Why?
Well, because these magazines degrade women. They do.
And I'll say one thing.
Why don't you just stand up for this segment? You know, like in the...
This is a little warning for people. Playgirl magazine has not got any girls in it.
I give up.
No, please, this hunk is done. But I don't see what you say. But they don't all degrade. You don't think Playboy
Well, I don't
degrades
look
women,
at
do
them.
you?
Obviously, I don't look at
Well,
them.
then how can you speak
I've
with
read
authority
about
if you
it,
don't look
and
at
I have a general idea of what's
Oh,
going on.
come on.
there.
Have you ever seen Oh, you-
Yes, I have, but I don't. I don't go out of my way to look for them. No, I don't.
Well, Norm has some material in
Yes,
his,
I'll ask
dressing
Norm
room.
next time. I'll call him and
He's got
see what he
thousands of
thinks.
videos. But they're all male. You might enjoy that.
No.
I also loved that I found out that he died after he died. Because to me, show business, we're here for you. You're not here for us. Now, I'm not judging anybody, but there are people who, whatever they're going through, they share it with the audience. Sometimes the audience loves that. I've never been in that camp. I'm not here to burden you. I'm here to lighten your burden. So the fact that Norm, now I didn't know about this, nobody knew about this. Good one, Norm.
You know, when I was asked to host the Canadian Screen Awards, I called my good friend Chris Rock, and I said to him, I've got some great news, Chris. I'm going to Canada. And he said, I've got some great news, too. I'm hosting the Oscars. What are you doing in Canada? And I said, visiting some family, friends. The usual.
Chris is very presentational, and Chris talks about racial things, and
One person does something, they get canceled. Somebody else does the exact same thing, nothing. You know what I'm talking about. Like the kind of people that play Michael Jackson songs, but won't play R. Kelly. Same crime. One of them just got better songs.
See, there was a number of artists and people who, so for instance, Gary Glitter was caught doing inappropriate things, and his music career, correctly, rightly sort of ended almost overnight.
maybe.
Did he have? If it had been T-Rex who had committed those crimes, I still think.
No, because I have a theory. It's to do with the quality of the music.
Yeah.
See, with
Michael
Jacko,
Jackson.
we didn't wipe Jacko out from history because we didn't want to go to weddings and not have Billie Jean.
Exactly.
So it's sort of, if the music was better in the case of Glitter, I think we'd have all. I mean, it felt like the entire world sort of turned their back on the Jacko accusations, right, and just said, well, anything. He didn't start doing this pre-dangerous, so we can listen to everything.
Know the end is day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say them all.
Right, Robert Kardashian helped to free O.J. Simpson, a black football playing murderer. Woo! O.J. Simpson killed 2 white people and got away with it. That's another kind of black excellence.
During a recent interview on 2020, longtime O.J. Simpson friend Robert Kardashian said he now believes Simpson may be guilty. Though he did add that had he believed O.J. was guilty at the time, he never would have agreed to hide his bloody clothes and knife. At his civil trial in Los Angeles this week, O.J. Simpson attorneys began their case with an attack on Nicole Brown Simpson's character. Outraged Brown family lawyers responded, quote, Nicole is a victim. No matter what she did, she certainly did not cut her own throat. To which Simpson's attorneys replied, on the contrary, that is precisely what we intend to prove. A down-and-out O.J. Simpson, depressed that all of his money-making ideas have failed, has decided to go back to doing what he does best, killing people.
Who would you trade places with for a day?
I guess Donald Trump.
Just for the money, or?
Yeah, just to know what it is to live in a palace and have thousands of people beat each other up.
And Melania?
And Melania gets thrown in the deal too.
Norm, I would consider you arguably maybe the best host of Weekend Update on SNL. I think you're one of the most beloved. I mean, I feel like I'm really like crawling in, but anyways, if you were still hosting, what would you have to say about Donald Trump?
Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Well, Donald Trump's like an interesting character because obviously what he's saying is resonating with the American public. Or he wouldn't be on top of the polls, right? And so if you have a clown saying these things, an utterly unlikable person saying these things, imagine if you had a charismatic individual, somebody with the charisma of Reagan or Bill Clinton saying something like this, then you could be in dangerous territory, boy.
Could you do a little...
That was funny, huh?
Profound.
Norm?
It was profound. I thought you were going somewhere like leader of Germany. I didn't know where we were headed.
Yeah. You were just on Fallon the other night.
Yeah.
Trump was there. Did you guys talk a little bit?
Well, what happened was, first of all, I watched it. I thought it was fine. Then the next day they were like, Jimmy wasn't. It's Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
He's not going to ruin his chance to get to host Face the Nation. So no, I was second guest. And he was first guest. First time I was ever second guest.
Really?
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to be really surprised. Continue.
But it was Donald Trump, So there's only a couple minutes between. So Donald Trump came out, and he was with the Secret Service guys. And I said, "Can I get a picture of Mr. Trump?" And so he's like, "Oh, I know you. I love you. Yeah, we'll get a picture." I knew him from before. He goes, "We'll get a picture. Just give me a minute." And then he turns around, he walks down the hall, and gets in an elevator.
You're still waiting.
Yeah, I was like...
You're like, best trick ever.
I know, it was like a Buster Keaton movie or something.
Gotta use that. That's
You met Donald Trump when he was on The Tonight Show on Jimmy Fallon show. Now, tell us about that encounter you had with Donald Trump.
Well, I'd met Donald Trump many, many times in New York City, just because when I was doing Saturday Night Live, he was a fixture in New York City, and he'd come to a lot of the shows, and he was just a local eccentric, that people mostly loved in New York because he fixed the rink in Central Park when the city couldn't. But no, when I was on Jimmy Fallon, that's when Jimmy Fallon tousled his hair and got in trouble for it, and I was the other guest. So I was just out in the hallway, and I said, Donald, can I have a picture? You could call him Donald then. I guess you can still call him Donald. We don't have to call him President, apparently. But I said, "Can I get a picture with you?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely, sure, Norm." And then he walked down the hall and got in the elevator with the Secret Service guys. So, but he was just doing it as a joke. A lot of times, the problem with candidates or political candidates that do comedy is obviously comedy doesn't translate well to the page sometimes. Sarcasm is lost, obviously, and things like that. So if someone says something that's meant self-disparagingly or satirically, and you want to take it out of context, you can. And that happened a lot of times with Trump on the campaign trail.
But he's being caricatured on Saturday Night Live, quite mercilessly by Alec Baldwin. Is it funny to you? Is that funny?
No. The only reason I don't find it funny, when I was there, Darrell Hammond did Donald Trump, and that shows how far back Trump goes, because that was 20 years ago. But Darrell did him then. It was a softer Trump. I think it was a Trump that was a lot closer to his real self. But if you do an impression of someone, you have to like that person, because you're playing the person, and people like themselves. So you can't play someone
and have contempt for them at the same time. You know, it doesn't work as an impression. So I don't like his impression, and I have no political affiliation. I just mean from a comedy level.
Where is the funny in Donald Trump? Because he does think he's funny, right?
Yes, but other people think he's funny too. I attended one of his just to see, you know, because I wanted to see it for myself. His performances in front of these grand halls, and he's enormously funny and entertaining. And I don't know that there's normally with politicians. You know, it takes, you need to be humble, you know, to be really funny. And I think that's why Ronald Reagan was the funniest president that I ever saw, because he always had this humility to him. I was kind of lost with President Obama because people told me he was funny, but to me he was too self-aware. And of course Hillary couldn't have been more strident, you know. And I think people don't vote on issues as much as they just vote on who they'd like that old saw about who you'd rather have a beer with, you know. And nobody wanted to have a beer with Hillary Clinton, you know.
You say that he has to be, that one person has to be humble to be funny, but I don't think Donald Trump is very humble, is he?
No, there's no humility to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is more funny in the way that a WWE wrestler is, you know. So he is a different kind of funny, which is a sort of a self-deluded, I don't know if it's self-delusion though. I don't know if it's all, I think it's just all an act. I don't think really that Trump ever wanted to be president. I think that he was always just playing to be president or whatever that hall he was playing in was, you know. And I've seen this happen with comedians too, that you start thinking you're good because the people that come to see you all like you, you know. But the reason they came to see you is because they like you. So politicians and comedians both make that mistake of thinking they're much better than they are because they're never criticized by the people that don't like them. That's why social media is so good, because you can see the people that don't like you at all.
I listened to an interview you gave Larry King, and you said the ruin of Donald Trump will be his addiction to playing the halls, right? So he's a great performer. He just wanted to be you, like he wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and he just accidentally became a president?
My guess would be that his plan was to make a big splash, lose, oh, that's not good. What should we do now, Joyce?
Just don't answer, okay? If it's possible.
No, I won't answer.
Yeah.
So should I start answering that question again?
Sure.
Yeah, I think him becoming president surprised him. I think, you know, it's funny that people don't remember, but back in the debates, there was a big issue with Donald Trump saying if he lost, it meant the election. God damn. Are you kidding me? I know, I did. Oh, 1 second. Hello? Yes. Oh, I gotta call you back. I'm on the TV, man. Yeah, I'm on the TV right now. Oh my God. Oh, but I'll call you right back. Sorry.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you the question again.
I feel that Trump. Personally, I feel that he didn't think he was going to become president. And interestingly, the thing that people don't remember was that, but I remember, was that during the debates, there was all this talk of Donald Trump saying, if he loses, it means the election is rigged. And all the media were saying, no, that's impossible. You know, take that back. You cannot say that about the American Republic. No election here could ever be rigged. That's impossible. And of course now they're saying the exact opposite. But I think it was Trump's idea at that point that he would say it was going to be rigged, thinking he thought Hillary was going to win, I think. And then he would start a network or something like that where he could speak and be the loyal opposition of his own, you know, something something different than Fox.
Let me ask you this. So your Bob Dole imitation was pretty famous back in the day. So would you do Donald Trump today? Would you do a Donald Trump imitation?
I try to not do comedy about Donald Trump because I think I had one joke about Donald Trump that I ever did where I said that Americans hated Hillary Clinton so much that they voted for someone they hated more than Hillary Clinton to rub it in. And that's the only time I ever made a joke about Trump. But I try to stay away from it because it's just, it's low-hanging fruit, and also, Trump oftentimes is doing self-parody, and nothing looks dumber than if you parody self-parody. You really get caught not understanding.
So comedy in the time of Trump, is it more difficult than it was when you were on Saturday Night Live?
It's more difficult in the time of Trump for good comedians, and it's way easier for bad comedians. You don't have a worldview by just saying you don't like Trump. You know what I mean? That doesn't count. Like you can't just say I hate Trump, and that makes you a good person. And the Democrats just can't say I hate Trump, and that means they have a position. That's no position. So for idiots, it's an easier time because you go, well, that guy's the idiot, not me. But if you try to do smart comedy, it's better to stay away from Trump.
Norm Macdonald, thanks so much for being with us today, for spending this time with us. It was great. Great to see you.
Great to see you. I love you, Joyce.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Donald
short
Trump.
joke? Donald Trump. Oh,
Donald Trump.
But I thought you don't tell
Donald Trump joke.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't, but I want to get in.
Are you a supporter of Donald Trump, or are you against Donald Trump?
I'm against Donald Trump.
Okay. All right.
Donald Trump goes into
a bank? No.
Bar. He goes into a bar.
Does he fuck a frog?
No.
I can believe that.
No.
Donald had his. He played pretty. He played
Donald
around.
Trump goes into a bar and he says, bartender says, "What's up, Donald Trump?" And Donald Trump goes, "I tell you something." He says, "I got me a genie." He says, "I got one of them lamps. I rubbed it. Goddamn, the genie didn't come out. Gave me 3 wishes." Bartender says, "What'd you wish for?" He said, "Well, first thing I wish for, all the money in the world. I got it. I'm a billionaire. Then what else do you wish for?" "I wish for all women in the world." He says, "Got all these women. Marry the most beautiful woman I've ever met." And the bartender says, "Oh man, that's great." And he said, and then Donald Trump goes, "But I did fuck up a little." He says, "How'd you fuck up?" He goes, "Oh, I wish for a giant pumpkin head."
Look at you.
That's a crazy.
What do you do? You sit home all day and write these things?
I'll tell you this. A guy in a bar told me a joke that I thought was one of the funniest jokes about Donald Trump. Is an old Mexican fella, and he runs a bookstore, and he's been in the country his whole life. He's worked hard for the American dream, and now he has a bookstore. He saved all his money from all the terrible jobs he had to do because he came over here illegally, but he became a great citizen and a great man of the United States. And I'm here at the pleasure of the United States from Canada. And so this Mexican guy has saved his money and has opened a bookstore. And he's happy about this. Big, fat, white guy comes in, redneck, He goes, "You got Donald Trump's latest book?" And the Mexican, he's taken this his whole life, You can notice by the slope of his shoulders.
Yeah.
And he says, "No, sir, I did not have it." Quietly, but with great dignity. Big fat guy adjusts his belt buckle. He says, don't you even understand what I'm saying? Goddamn Mexican. You even speak English? He says, well, sir, I believe I'm speaking fluent English to you right now. Yeah, well, maybe not. Anyways, you got the goddamn Donald Trump booker, don't you? He says, I've explained to you, sir. He says, I'm not going to ask you this again. He goes, you got that goddamn booker, don't you? Now, this old Mexican man has finally taken all the outrage that he has held within him throughout his whole life, being treated like a second-class citizen in a country that he pays taxes, boils over, you know, and he addresses this big fat redneck, and he goes, listen, pal, because I want you the fuck out of here. I never want to see you in this fucking place again. I don't welcome you. You suck. I fucking hate you. Get out. The guy says, that's it. Is it in soft cover or is it only in hard? Because my wife, I want to get it for the wife, but I don't want to pay for the hard cover.
The Nicolas Cage stuff is very similar, where it's just nobody can really do what he does. I also love Nicolas Cage.
You said you could do Nicolas Cage.
I cannot do Nicolas. I've heard that I heard my voice sometimes sounds like him, and I've been told I look like him sometimes, but no.
That's how I got started, was people with that one. People said, when I was little, they thought I was his son. I mean, I don't think they thought that.
You do look like
Nicolas Cage.
A lot,
They are you his son.
Way more, yeah.
Let's hear your Nicolas Cage.
I don't have a Nicolas Cage.
I know you said you did.
No, I don't have a Nicolas Cage.
You told me that a Nicolas Cage that made Simon Helberg sound like his shit. No, he did.
My Nicolas Cage sounds a lot like your fucking Christopher Walken.
Whatever. I don't do a very good Christopher.
You don't need to do a good one to do
that. But I am Christopher Walken. Jesus Christ. You never heard me, Christopher Walken?
I like that.
I never heard it before either. I just assumed everyone could do it.
Everyone does it.
So I tried. How do we get him to do Nicolas Cage? I feel embarrassing.
It's hard, I know.
Can you ask me?
We'd love it if we could hear your Nicolas Cage.
All right, well, he does like, well, yeah, that's just wonderful to hear, and maybe on the way out we can stop in the gift shop, but right now, I don't know, I really want to find some rockets! Yahoo! There you go. He has a little bit too.
No, right.
Well, I mean, it's not...
I didn't say I look like, I just said I've had people sometimes.
Well, that's the same thing as saying you look like him.
No, you're right.
You know, everybody always says I look like him.
I would say always.
Whatever. You watched a lot of Nicolas Cage, right?
I did watch a lot.
He's seen every Nicolas Cage movie.
Well, no, up until like probably about 15 years ago. Well, they started getting real. Like, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I can't. He was great. He's either the greatest actor in the world or the worst actor in the world.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah, that was a great one.
That was like when it. Then it was the divide came, I think, when he did The Rock, and you were sort of like, okay, I'll accept this Michael Bay, like I'll accept this because you're self-aware, but then he did Con Air, and he had that mullet and a southern accent, and it like all went downhill.
No, you nailed it. That's exactly when.
Started buying islands.
Yeah. He spent all his money on stuff.
I like islands.
Islands?
I think plural.
Wow. How much I heard he already bought his gravesite or something, and I thought it was like a pyramid. It's like, I don't know if that's...
He blew all his money on his gravesite?
It's like a giant pyramid.
Oh, like National Treasure?
Yeah.
That's another Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Nick Cage. Face Off?
Face Off?
That was
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Briefly.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
You just went right to one where he was barely there.
Yeah.
No, Raising Arizona. I don't think anything tops that for me.
You have to put it in the right file, according to alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, QRSTUVWXYZ.
Visitors to New York's Times Square this winter are in for a bit of a surprise. Crazy people will be shooting at them